Hey guys, welcome to the PowerJank podcast. I'm Jacob, your PowerJank player, and this is
Hello, I'm Cody. Glad to return.
we'd like to talk about 2024, what it brought for us for Magic. We'd like to talk about 2025, what it's going to bring us, and all of the things that we're hoping for. We just like playing Magic and we like talking about Magic, so we're looking to bring that to you guys. So 2024 brought us a lot of things. Cody, what did 2024 bring for you?
It brought me a lot of new EDH decks and a lot of new players to enjoy the game with.
Oh my gosh, yes, me too. So at our game of the year, we had three new participants, totaling an 11 people for the night who rather at New Year's go play a bunch of Magic than go out and party. So I was more than happy about the turnout for this year because life reasons getting to me and just needing to know that I have these people just as much as they have me for this grand event. And I know I had a lot of fun. Did you have a lot of fun?
Oh, incredible amounts. Would much rather
So
be at a table.
2024,
Mm?
right? 2024 brought us a lot of things. We got a lot of sets in a very short period of time, and I'm still finding new things from this year.
Oh, yeah.
So in January, we got Ravnica Remastered. That started 2018, 20 years ago,
Just about, yeah.
2006. And now, I don't know about you, but I thought it was Shocklands dot set with the
100%.
occasional Ravnica, not Ravnica, Cyclonic Rift. I didn't
Yeah,
see them. I got like 9 Shocklands. Like
I got
I milked it.
it's the best set to milk, though, because Shocklands will never not be valuable.
Oh, they're just so good. They fit everywhere.
Exactly.
Now, this next set, less than a month later, January 12th was Ravnica. February 9th is Murders at Karlov Manor. And outside of the lands from this set, the fetchable surveil lands, these things are so good.
They
What
are.
other things from Karlov Manor do you remember?
Karlov Manor was actually a set that I was getting ready to move right around, simply out of the fact of moving states is a hard thing. But the one of many things that I remember from the set is the Clue expansion that they came with.
That came out later this month.
Yep.
14 days. February 23rd.
I remember expectingly waiting for all those legends and seeing how they make a board game into a card game. And honestly, they did very well with it.
I didn't get to play it, and from what you say, I think it sounds kind of fun, so I'd like to try it out sometime.
Of
But other
course.
than that, I thought it was a few legendaries very overpriced.
Yes. Unfortunately so.
Yeah. And now, if we look about 2 weeks later, a new set comes out, Fallout.
Yep.
March. Like, there's a lot of cool cards from here. The Fallout series, I've heard lots of great things. I've never gotten to play it, but I can't really think of a lot of cards from this set besides the Master Transcendent or the Wise Mothman, because those the Wise Mothman's the number one commander built from this year.
Yes.
He's so cool. He's so funny. Every time I see him, I giggle. He makes us mill with radiation, and I just feel like I'm in Chernobyl whenever he's around.
I honestly would much rather get a rad counter than a poison counter any day.
Same. Poison counters. That's a that's a rule zero thing.
Yep,
Radiation counters, please,
bring them. I don't mind the milling, even if I'm
all
not a
day.
mill deck.
I'll lose the life.
Yeah,
I got plenty. 40, please.
you can.
And now we got a little bit over a month of space between Fallout and the next set, Outlaws of Thunder Junction, coming in April 19th.
Yep.
Just 40 days. 40 days is still not enough to digest all of the brand new cards that we've already gotten. By this time, we're just realizing Ravnica Remastered is like a few months ago, but so many cards have come in between us, we thought that there was a lot further behind. I didn't get much from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Yeah, we had a lot of cool things. Rakdos the Muscle, that sack outlet.
Yep.
We got Standard got the Slick Shot, Sure Shot, the cast a non creature +2/+0 flying haste for 2. He's
Hmm.
bonkers. But other than that, I didn't really get too many things out of Outlaws of Thunder Junction I was really excited about.
I mean, Legends enjoyed it just because a lot of the legendary enchantments that came out helped out that deck, but otherwise, yeah, there wasn't too much in there, honestly.
Ooh, Demand Answers. Was that Outlaws or was that Murders at Karlov Manor? It's a common, but
I
if the
believe it was
common is a
Outlaws.
most if if a common is the most reliable thing out of the set, Wizards, what's going on?
I mean, we did get the overly priced side gag of the vault stuff that you could get, you know, uh the key to everything creature, Loot. That's right. That's his name.
Loot. I Both loots are bulk rares. Even the second one hadn't come out at this point in time, but Loot got a first printing with the key to everything in the big score.
Yep.
I thought he was super cool, but every single time I've tried to build him, he is just
He falls flat.
flopped as a commander.
Hmm.
As cool as he is, there's I haven't found a great way to build him that actually makes him shine and be enjoyable as a commander. I'm a big fan of the word draw a card, and his text box says impulse draw cards, plural. So I
Hmm.
just thought, hey, and every time I play loot, I've just keep being proven wrong.
Yeah, unfortunately. And I'm even
Like,
going through the commander decks they released with it, and I don't see any of these guys in any gameplays.
yeah, like I'm trying to think of sets and stuff, and everything that's come at this point in time is the Wise Mothman.
Yeah.
Uh oh wait, hold on. Let's go back.
Okay.
Stella Lee. Forgot about that. Stella Lee was actually at Game of the Year for us, and she's a very prominent deck. She does
Fair.
a lot in both regular Commander and in CEDH.
This is fair.
She's and that is Outlaws of Thunder Junction because she's a wild card. I
Yes.
My bad. I almost forgot about her. She's so good. She helps spell slingers go fur so fast. Cerulean Wisps, colorless in a blue, cipher, tap or untap target permanent, tap or untap target permanent. Hidden strings.
Yes.
Things just all right. Let's produce everything. I'm gonna draw my whole library and Laboratory Maniac or Jace or other cool infinite combos in blue and red and you doing the thing. I thought she was cool. I also thought she was a little overpowered and I was a little scared of her. I will admit. I don't get to see her often, but every time I've seen her, she just sits there and then there's a bunch of explosions and she wins.
Yeah.
So now this next set that we're about to talk about, Modern Horizons 3, we actually had a little bit of a break in between. Going from April to June, we had over a month of just sitting back and just be like, okay, we can take a breather. Modern Horizons 3 brought a lot of goodies to the whole world. We got
Hmm.
creatures that turn one drop or two drop creatures that turn into planeswalkers where it defined a bunch of formats. Ral
Yep.
is an absolute house everywhere he goes.
Yep.
Thorin is great for life gain.
Yep.
Cameo, I like calling her Tomato. She is you draw a card and get a clue. That can get absurd. Now, a Johnny didn't really do much in Commander, at least from my perspective. He's been more of a modern card.
Yes.
But my favorite out of the five of them is Grist's Voracious Larva, this last one.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I got to do so many fun combos with him.
Of course. And let's not forget about the other thing that Modern Horizons brought us. We got Eldrazi's again, and we even got, although be it high priced, the commander decks that everyone was hoping for.
Oh, a five-color colorless Eldrazi precon. It
Yep.
is still doing work.
People still buy the crud out of it everywhere I go.
Gisa, the Tarmogoyf lady. She
Yep.
just collects Tarmogoyfs. I want you to think about the kind of we've been playing Magic for a long time, and we saw Tarmogoyf hit $200 for a non-foil copy at one point in time when the original Modern Masters came out. Now they're
Yeah.
15 bucks a piece. Now, if you're coming from a human normal perspective, how awesome do you have to be able to hunt a Tarmogoyf? Just
Probably pretty rad.
as a human.
Yeah,
Like
let
this is
alone
like
tame them. Like they're
is
essentially forces of nature themselves.
is this what Steve Irwin does in his free time now? Granted, sorry, but
Yeah,
is this what Steve Irwin does? It's
I
like,
think so.
look at this thing. Now,
Touches.
Grist Voracious Larva,
Yep.
I got to do such a fun combo with him. Prosperous Innkeeper, Vorinclex Monstrous Raider, Phyrexian Delver. Those
Hmm.
are in the yard. You bring something back, you flip him over. You then get double the counters, immediately ult him. So then he'll go to the original, go to the graveyard. You'll create a bunch of tokens of the Prosperous Innkeeper and the Phyrexian Delver in your graveyard. You'll
Yep.
gain a life from creature entering. You'll get a token, a treasure token that produces you the mana for the Phyrexian Delver to return the original Grist to the field.
Yep.
And when that happens, you'll use the treasure for the green to reflip over the Grist, entering with full counters to ult it, and you're going to keep rinsing and repeating that thing. That was probably my favorite thing to happen with Modern Horizon 3 and actually this year.
Exactly.
Less than a month later, as Commander players, we get a new set, Assassin's Creed. What I saw, reprint of Sword and Feast and Famine, reprint of Propaganda, and then some other cool cards in regards to the set. Like I like Leonardo da Vinci. Did you what legendary creature from the set did you like the most?
Uh, Honestly, the Triad. I got to play a
The
couple of games with them, and they did what I needed.
what was that?
Getting to do all of my historic stuff that isn't just legendaries. They more base around the idea of like artifact builds, since they're a colorless card in of
Oh,
themselves.
that sound. I'd like to see some of this.
Yes,
But the Assassin's Creed, it did bring a lot of other players into the game of Magic, and that's something that we're looking at these sets, and that's what we're appreciating about them. Even though they're coming out very fast, and we don't have time to breathe as veteran Magic players,
nor do our
we
wallets.
still like that new people are wanting to come and play the game, and at least I'm always going to be for that. New people to enjoy and play with. That's what I thrive off of it. The people
Now,
wanting to play Magic and
now
the cool things all of us can do.
the whole thing though, and it's a very big difference in the community for commanders, whether or not like Assassin's Creed, Fallout, and all that should be allowed with them being outer universes. I honestly don't care. They're cards printed by the thing. You should be able to do what you wish with them. But I also understand the other side of it because some of these things from like Assassin's Creed and Fallout and Doctor Who and all that are very strange and are literally only in that set and probably never to be seen again. Wizards does this with their secret layer stuff that they release. Are we going to maybe see like a Mr. House reprinted as a normal card in a other set? Or is he just forever
Or are
stuck
we
in
going to get a
Fallout?
Universes Beyond reprint set
Yeah,
where Orcish
universes
Spellmasters, the One Ring, and other prolific cards in these Universes Beyond sets are going to be released as? Because
universes
I don't see them being printed
horizons.
in. Uh, I'm not. I wouldn't be upset with that,
Hmm.
but I don't think it would be. I think it would just be prominent as a reprint to keeping the volume of price not as high. Because I can definitely see how some of these cards are going to jump really high in price because they were only printed in these sets, these special sets that aren't going to see standard because Universes Beyond isn't going to become a part of standard until this year, 2025.
Yes.
After Assassin's Creed, we have Bloomborough. We have only a month in between this. August is when Bloomborough came out. Assassin's Creed was July. I loved this set. This set was really cute. Like cute in a good way. Not
Yes.
like, "Oh, that's cute. I'm gonna take care of it." No, they're just a bunch of cute creatures, and it was awesome. Like, you were telling me about Balin the Haymaker being an absolute house and absolutely great. I haven't gotten to see him do all those great things, but he's just his the words on him just say tokens awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Another great thing that Bloomborough brought to us that I just remembered is we finally have actual beast types rather than just this is a beast. Yes, that's a hamster. It's actually a hamster citizen, a bird, bat, insert in random animal here, rather than them
And all
all
these animal
umbrellaed.
stuff. Cool stuff. We
Hmm.
also got extra. Did we get skeletons here? No, we got skeletons in previous sets. But these
Yes,
were all cute stuff. Like the precons for this for Bloomborough, probably one of the better sets of precons. Mrs. Bumbleflower, she
absolutely.
is so
Mm.
awesome. Like,
Uh,
when's the last time we had a good hug commander like that?
I honestly can't remember. Zedru, maybe
That was the first commander set in like 2011, 2012.
something like that. Yeah.
Uh, it took how many years? 14 years to come out with a second Hug Commander that actually. Okay, wait, hold on. Kia no Sentiro. Can't say no to
Oh,
them.
this is true. They are also the hugs.
2016. But before that, it was Feltegriff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you have some other cute stuff, but it's not. The commander doesn't say Hug like these cards do.
I mean, I
Was
guess
there.
wasn't there the weird like squid monster from the unset, the green white
I
dude?
want you to think about the word un and
It's allowed in
anything past that.
Commander.
Yeah, I got no clue what you're talking about. So if a set says un, I'm pretty sure it's basic lands dot set for commander players. Yes, as magic players, some of us do want to be able to play these unset cards. Now,
Hmm.
the most recent one, I think unsanctioned, brought us saw in half, exchange of words. I can't think of other cards from this unset that are worth playing besides
Uh,
basic lands.
the stupid sticker goblin that everyone that wanted
I
mana
want you
ramp.
to think about the sticker goblin. Yeah, no thanks. I'm good. You
Yeah.
can you can play with stickers all you want. I'm not putting stickers on my cards.
No, I'm good as well. But everyone that played CDH played it because they needed the mana ramp out of it.
I'm not going to disagree with you,
Hmm.
but I don't have to like
However, there is one powerhouse that came out of an unset that I got to see yesterday. Magara of the Magic Strings. Pay one a
it.
red and a black. Choose any instant or sorcery from your graveyard. Make a 3/3 out of it. And if it does face damage to a player, cast that spell for free.
Ew, that's awesome. Ew.
Yes.
So you're telling me someone could expropriate a 3/3 creature, hit you in the face, and then you can.
I controlled every player's turn because I had 3 combat steps and a worst fears as a creature.
This is why unsets shouldn't be played in Commander.
Agreed.
That's how I feel. But I mean, it's funny.
No, yeah.
I'm giggling, like excited about it. But coming from Bloomborough, the next month we have Duskmorn. You know,
Hmm.
we're getting filled to the brim with sets and new cards. Duskmorn was the last set before we actually had a good break and a good breather. I liked the old 80s horror movie feel that it gave. It brought a good amount of like nostalgia. I had just recently started watching horror movies and I'm getting into them. They're actually kind of funny now
Oh,
that I'm
yeah.
watching them as an adult. As a child,
No.
could not do it.
Chucky was the
They got me
worst
good. They got me
nightmare.
really good. I had nightmares from Power Rangers as a kid, so I can't really say
Fair.
how I was going to do. Like, I tried watching Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Kid Jacob.
Nope.
Nope.
Bad times all around.
Correct. But Duskmorn brought us some really cool commanders. Valgavoth, both of them, the Mono Black and the Precon, both of
Yep.
them powerhouses in every manner. You had the Glimmers that when they're destroyed or they die in battle, they will just turn into enchantments
We had our
that have the
first
same ability as them.
we
They're
had our
so
first
good.
sequel card too. Meat
Sequel.
Hook Massacre #2.
Ooh, yeah. Doesn't it say Athreos' ability on it, but with extra words? Rite of
When it
passage?
enters the battlefield, each player sacks X creatures. Whenever a creature you control dies, you may pay 3 life. Yep, Athreos. Whenever a creature an opponent control dies, they may pay 3 life. If they don't, return that card under your control with a finality counter on it.
Yeah, I really want to abuse that side right there. It's like, oh, you're getting rid of some creatures?
Oops a
Dreadbore that?
daisies.
I'm gonna Dreadbore your creature. Are you
Yep,
gonna pay 3 life or am I getting your creature?
gets real fun very quickly.
I'm I haven't gotten to see it in play yet, but the moment that it does the thing, I'm probably going to have underestimated it.
Oh yeah,
Uh, what other things from Duskmourn did you like? We had the Overlord. It's basically like a new set of Titans, but enchantments.
gotta love them. Uh, a lot of the rooms, adding that as a new like card is kind of entertaining. I hope that
More
we see
recent
more of
unlocking.
that. Yeah.
I did like the unlocking of the rooms where you have a card that gives you two options.
Yep.
Now, I've always thought that that's how you should have every single card in your deck in a game of Commander. It should do at least two things for you to want to be able to play it.
Yep.
Like, it being a combo piece is not the only reason you play it. Oh, it's a combo piece and it's a zombie in my zombies deck? Yeah, please.
Also,
Being
no, go on.
so the card Fractured Identity, I don't know remember what the other side of it is, but Fractured Identity says Panharmonica. Creatures and or I think it's creatures or permanents entering the battlefield, they get an additional trigger.
Yep.
I watched someone make sure we didn't lose the game to the Feldergriff player. Book of Exalted Deeds activate on a Mutavault. Since a Mutavault is all creature types, it's an angel.
Yep.
But it's gonna get a counter. It doesn't if it has the counter, he can't lose, we can't win. End step, flash out High Fate Trickster, flash out Mirror Maid copying someone's Doomwake Giant. Fractured Identity says it's happening twice. That's -2/-2 to everything. Got rid of the Mutavault to help make sure the Feldergriff player didn't win the game.
Exactly. You also got finally rare lands that are worth the damn again. The ones that check
From
if you control either of the colors so that they can tap for both colors.
Doomlake Verge, yeah,
Yep.
that's one of them where if you control an island, you can or control a swamp, it will tap for both.
Yep.
Yeah,
Love
I'm
that.
I'm a big fan of these. So unless your main priority is the color that it's showing, like if you play it turn one,
Mm,
if you're not playing that color as your main color, it's not as good as we thought it was.
no.
So like if
But
you're maining blue, Doomlake Verge is gonna be awesome. But if you're maining black with a little bit of blue, it's it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you to enjoy that card because it has a much steeper stipulation than we thought.
yes.
Because it's not just it's you get the other option provided you have the other thing, and it's not
Hmm.
guaranteed you have the other thing.
Exactly. But it
Um,
gives me nostalgia for the old lands of like when the ETB, if you don't control a plains or mountain, they enter tapped. And I love
the
those.
Supper Crete, the Buddy Lands.
Yeah. So it gives me that nostalgia and it made me really excited to see them again. Well, see them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was very happy to see them. I haven't gotten to play one yet, even though I have one in my CEDH deck. But I think it might be coming out because every time that I've seen it, it's not doing enough because I don't always have the black mana from it.
True.
But with our last set, Foundations, it came out in November. That gave us a little over a month of a break in between sets. And coming from someone, we both started in Innistrad M12.
Yep.
I played Curse of the Bloody Tome Mill, that starter deck,
I
and
terrifying.
Falcon Wrath. Falcon Wrath Marauders, was it?
Yeah, vampires all the
The
way.
5 drop 2/2 undying vampire with haste.
Not
Those were
undying,
that's how
but
we
yes.
started. I thought it had flying, haste, and undying. 2/2 flyer
Uh,
for 5.
Falcon
But
Ra.
that's where we started. And Foundations was like the first set that felt like a real set of Magic again. Not like them pumping out a lot of cards. It was we look forward to it. Ever since I started playing Standard on Arena, like I've been playing it on there for a while, but since Foundations, I don't regularly see RDW with Heartfire Hero. I see a lot of other decks to play against.
Hmm.
It's not the same 3 decks anymore.
No,
And the differentiation in Standard because of it has definitely like brought back a flame that I didn't know was still burning.
it feels nice to have what could essentially be considered a core set again. This way, it's not just here's this one narrow classification. It's here's a bunch, go at it.
So does that give the implication, since Foundations is going to be in Standard for 5 years,
Yep.
does that mean in 5 years we're going to get a different Foundation?
Uh, as long as Wizard can keep their brain straight, yes.
Ooh, I like the sound of this. Like Foundations brought us back Arcanist the Omnipotent. I remember
Mm,
playing against him when I first started.
yep.
Powerhouse. You don't realize it. He's 6 drop to let you draw 3 cards, but there's a lot of things that let you help you draw more than one time with him a turn.
Yeah, we
He's
also
a
got
house for
Venser.
drawing cards.
We got Venser back again after who knows how long. I forget when he even got printed. The Flash
Venser did.
ETB. Flash enter the battlefield, return target spell or permanent to its owner's hand.
I haven't even seen him.
Yep,
There's like 700 cards in Foundations. He
something
was
like
like
that.
I pulled a box, but I didn't get him, so I didn't know that he existed.
But
So this is
then
awesome.
we also got new cards that were reprinted because high value targets, obviously, like Kodama of the West Tree and Galta.
Or the enchantment that doubles up tokens, doubling season. That always needs a reprint because it's always going to be 40 or $50.
Hmm.
It hasn't been $20 in like a decade.
But
And like that's what I remember doubling season being when I first started playing Magic. That's just how powerful the card has been. And that was 2011.
somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah.
But we
Uh,
also at the
but
same
with
time
all of
got new
these,
cards.
yeah, but with all of these, I talked about my favorite commander, Grist Voracious Larva,
Yeah.
and the infinite capability with the tokens and bringing it back. What was your favorite commander from the year?
Uh, if I really had to pinpoint one, it would probably be Nelly. I love goading things. I love making stuff suspicious.
You're suspicious, Cody.
Of course I am.
But it's the you're not gonna attack. Please don't. Just stop. We're not
No,
doing
no,
this.
you're
I'm
gonna
telling you who you
attack.
can attack. It's
You
not me.
just, yeah, I just don't want to be a part of it.
I mean, I want you to be a part of it, so we'll figure this out together.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
but that brings us to the end of the year. 2024 ended with a big bang for us. Every year, I host a game for Game of the Year. This is among me and my friends where we play games. Cody was there. We had our biggest turnout. 11 people showed up for this, and I don't think I could have been happier for what's going on in my life at this point in time. It helped me realize things, and I'm going to continue to work harder and make that number bigger. 11 this year, I'm going to go for four pods. I'm hoping for 16 people next year, but we
We'll
had
do
three
our
rounds.
best.
Before, we had 3 rounds before Game of the Year because we had so many people show up. We had to see who's going to be in the final game. You can't
Hmm.
just have an 11-player pod and hope everyone enjoys that game. That's I don't know what pods that big I've ever enjoyed. Like
No,
I've done them. It's absurd, but like there's just too much going on, and then it usually just turns up to one person doing the thing and going awesome. And
exactly.
so we had 3 rounds. One player did not have to play the whole night, but he chose to play.
Yep.
He's the person with the crown, and he just automatically plays to help defend his crown at New Year's.
Hmm.
So each person gets to choose two decks, and those are the only two decks you get to play for the evening. I chose Old Stick Fingers with Umori as the companion. That's my favorite. That's my favorite deck. I built it back in March of the Machines, and I can't help myself. I just playing a bunch of monsters.
Yeah, it's what you
And then I
do.
also played. I played the first year's crown holder Kiki Jiki,
Hmm.
my Kiki Jiki list. He
Yep.
is, yes, he is absurd. He does the thing. He is funny. I do have some other cards that I like to giggle with, but he's he earned his title. Um, for my first round, I played creatures, and if I wasn't as controlled as much as I was, I would have won the game. Someone got rid of my enduring vitality to help me tap less for mana. If I got to play my Galta Stampede Tyrant, I was going to win the game the next turn with all of the creatures that I put out and my ability to go get so many more because of it.
Yep.
Modern Horizons 3 brought us Disciple of Fraelis, and that thing immediately went in there as a second Disciple of Bolus,
Yes.
or an additional land drop, because the only thing I get to play is creatures and lands. It's both. And it lets me draw cards, gain life by sacking a creature. I like creatures in my graveyard with Old Stick Fingers as my commander.
It is very handy.
It ended up going to the Lonus combo player using Tomeo's journal to go get the piece that he needed to create infinite mana with Lonus and Academy Manufacturer. He then milled us out with Sack a Clue, Mill 3, and then Fairy Mastermind, making everyone draw cards with no cards in library.
That'll do it.
How's your first round?
Ours unfortunately ended on turn 3, but that's just because Flip Urbrass deck goes super fast with the little spells and pinging everyone for damage. Still rather fun to
Wow.
watch.
Urabrask is definitely a powerhouse deck that would do that.
Yeah.
So round two for me, I was set up with I played Kiki Chiki second round against Old Gnawbone and Miriam. The Miriam didn't get to do too much, but I kept a two land hand, Nykthos Mountain. I drew into a second mountain, and I kind of just had to sit back because everything else in my hand was just set up for winning the game with Kiki Jiki. Coercive Recruiter, Chancellor of the Forge, just bigger stuff. I just had everything else smaller to help me get to that point. I ended up missing land drops. I never got to five lands, but Old Gnawbone went to go cast Last March of the Ents. I
Yep.
used Dualcaster Mage to copy it. I then drew two cards because I only had a 2/2 creature out, but for mono red combo deck, a 2/2 is awesome. Drew the two, put out Coercive Recruiter, Magus of the Wheel, and Chancellor of the Forge. Coercive Recruiter took the old Gnawbone from him because it was on the
Hmm.
battlefield. I didn't want him drawing seven. I took his commander, and then I created five tokens with the creatures that I had out because of Chancellor of the Forge. He then drew three cards with Llanowar Tribe as his only creature on the battlefield. He put out a bunch of cool stuff. Then, when it got to my turn, a Wheel of Fate got its last suspend counter taken off of it, where he Obscuring Haze right in response. Obscuring Haze says creatures don't deal damage, not combat damage or non-combat damage. They just don't deal damage. So I had to figure out a way outside of Obscuring Haze to attempt to win the game. I drew my seven from the wheel. There was a gamble in there, so I looked through my library for an Impact Tremors.
Hmm.
Realized I didn't have one in there because I'm just like, why? But I had a Goblin Bombardment because of Staff of Untappy. What's
There you
that card
go.
called?
Uh, Depends on which one. There's two of them.
It automatically equips to Shaman. It's the one with Kiki Jiki or
Oh,
Maronar. We'll come back to that. So I got the Goblin Bombardment. I cast it. I cast Kiki with the Nykthos mana and all of the creatures I put out with Last March of the Ents and Thornbite Staff. And
there
then
you go.
I went and just went burr with the enchantment, not creatures. And that's how I won round two. How did your round two go?
Round 2 went pretty well. I ended up playing my Eska Legendaries deck just for the giggles of it. Uh, our mono green as you say, crown winner, kind of balled out every single big guy he could get very, very swiftly, but as green decks do.
Yeah, his
And
boring push is really nasty.
yeah, and he just kind of trampled over everyone at once. It was rather a interesting and fun sight.
I heard that you gave him a run for his money, though.
Oh, that was in round three when I got paired with him again.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
it came down
Well,
to if I didn't have a response to him, I was going to lose, or if he didn't have a response to me, he would lose. Unfortunately, he just happened to get that one unblockable creature through, and it was still a very
that was
good and
round two or
close
round
game.
three?
Round three.
Okay, so your round three was like right on the bar up against Flex. What did you play? Legends again?
Yep, played Essica once again.
So you played legendaries. Now I'm making sure this is Legends with a legendary land base, not Legends with a regular land base.
Correct. Everything in the deck is legendary except for one card that, even to this day, I will argue should be legendary, and that is the World Tree.
The World Tree says go get a bunch of legends. I'm not going to argue with that.
Even in
It
story,
also
there's
says
only
come
one
out of
of
game.
them.
Why should you be allowed to have more than one out?
Yeah.
You have a really good point. It should be legendary. Uh, Other than that, my round three. So in round two, there was a four-player pod of all winners, people
Hmm.
with the most points, and whoever was going to win that game is guaranteed to be into game of the year. When that person won, that person was not again in that pod because he was already a part of the game. So whoever was in first with the most points for round two, going into round three, would be not paired with the next four players. These four players, with my win, I had boosted myself up to fifth place.
Yep.
And in this game, it was a really close game. I was playing creatures.
Hmm.
I wanted all of the other players at the table were new players. One person had been there once or twice before, but he doesn't have a crown. I have two crowns, first year and third year. And then the other two players at this table were the other two newbies for the year. We're playing this game. I'm playing creatures. New guys playing Ovika. We also
Yep.
have a Sidisi Brute Tyrant and a Megatron. The Urbrask player changed to Megatron because his heart said to go with flavor, not with power. And unfortunately, that was one reason he lost that game. He had 5 points, everyone else had 3 points. I had just squeaked into that pod. The Ovika on my turn, I go and cast Shieldred, the flip, to make
Hmm.
everyone sacrifice a non-token creature, and I hear the player next to me, the Ovika player, go, ugh, like or whatnot. I don't have anything much else to do, so I just pass the turn. And the Ovika player goes, if you didn't get rid of my commander, I was gonna win this turn. So, Banner of Kinship, Jacob, I have 9, 10, 10 goblins coming at you that all deal 1 extra damage. Because killing you first is the smartest option.
It's
Because
almost a
and if I
rule.
don't remove you, no, it's not a rule.
Go on.
Removing you is the smartest option. And when I was removed and he passed the turn, I looked down and went, "Oh yeah, if you didn't remove me, I was winning on my next turn." Because that they're right. If I'm left alone, I'm going to be taking it from them. I'm not going to just allow them to get away with this stuff without some sort of fight. And he removed me from the game and then removed other players from the game, winning that game and got him being the other person into game of the year. Now, another person, round three, did win his game with an aggro deck, the old Gnawbone player, playing old Gnawbone,
Yep.
just squeaked into fourth place with how he won the game and how we have our point system. So if you remove one player at a time, you'll get more points than killing or removing the whole table in one go because removing the whole table in one go is a lot easier than removing someone,
Ping, ping,
sitting
ping.
back a turn, then removing another person, then sitting back a turn, because that leaves them the option to also remove you. And that gives more points. If you can beat someone up and then take a beating, then beat another person up, then take a beating and beat another person up, you deserve the extra, which is what he got.
Exactly.
I didn't get to play any game of the year. I'm more proud of the players that got to be there and enjoy the night. It was
Same.
Ovika, Old Gnawbone, and Stella Lee looking to take the crown from Aloro. Now, Cody, when you hear the name Aloro,
I have a giant.
how long have you been tainted by this name?
All I hear when I hear Oloro is a giant well tower falling on me for 50 damage and him losing
More than
50
once?
life to do it.
And and that 50 life is just a scratch, not like actually like bringing him below 50.
No, didn't even bring him to normal health. Just here
No,
you go.
just Aloro. Just you know, Wizards, you did a really good ability. Where's the rest of the eminence? You give vampires 1/1 tokens, and you know how that's going. He's a $70 card that's about to get a reprint for a much more beautiful art coming in 2025.
But
His first reprint.
that's the thing, though. Wizards has already admitted to this that they don't want to reprint Eminence because they realized how overbearing it can be to have an ability you can't get rid of just from the start.
I mean, Sulfuric Vortex. Players can't gain life. Boom.
True.
Containment Priest. Creature entering the battlefield, not mana cast. Remove it. There are ways around it, and that is something that we should encourage. But we could probably get more Eminence abilities that just aren't as powerful. Like
Yes.
if you do Eminence second spell cast on
Do a
your turn
thing.
or any turn, whatever, do a thing. Because a lot of these second thing happen like Fairy Mastermind. Whenever
Mhm.
an opponent draws their second card, you get to draw a card. That is an amazing ability.
True.
Maybe like an Eminence version of that, maybe not with draw a card, but like other abilities because
Get like a tap
it's the
treasure or
flavor that we like.
something.
But Game of the Year ended with a big upset that it took us a moment to get there, but we had realized one of the newbies had came and taken the W from the original crown holder, the Alora player.
Yes.
Ovika had taken the crown. He was ever so ecstatic to realize that after his rocky year, there was a time he disappeared, but he came back. He's always been a nice person. He's always been a wonderful player. Anytime that he's around, like he's like, I don't want to be this player, so I apologize. But this night was one of those nights that he didn't have to apologize for that. And he got to like really go with what his heart said and just beat people up. And it was amazing. I loved seeing it. I loved hearing that a rookie took the crown for the first time. This was the first time someone who wasn't a regular player for several years in a row took the crown. This was his first year playing with us,
Yes.
and I'm I'm ever so heartfelt for that. And I look forward to who comes next year and possibly dethrones him, or who takes a second or even a third crown for themselves
Yep.
coming 2026.
Challenge is always a wait.
Oh yeah. So now 2025 is here. We're sitting in it. We're
Yeah.
living it. We're seeing how it is. It feels like every other year, but we're drifting through a lot of places. The first place we're going to, Innistrad Remastered.
Yep.
Cody, you remember Innistrad. How
I
was it
do.
for you?
It was our first set we played in, so nostalgia, acceptance, and quickly learning that the game's not just flip a card off the deck and play it.
Top decking things was much bigger of a priority than it is now. We have all the answers. We've gone through them. We've done things, but back then, top decking was really the biggest
Last
highlight of us
resort.
trying to do. Are you
But
sure about that? Did I take an extra turn, lose afterwards?
yeah,
So we do have some reprints from here. We've seen the Edgar Markov reprint, like I just stated. This is
yep.
his first real reprint. Do you think this reprint is going to bring him down to a decent price, or do you think he's still going to be at that absurd level?
He's going to be brought down a good amount. The big thing that's going to hit is it's actually a thing I am against with Wizards, sadly, is the special arts that are serialed.
Where you can only get that super nice one. I had felt that with March of the Machines. I really wanted the serialized Jin Gataxius because I'm a blue player and he does very blue things. I wanted that art, but he only came that serialized, and I did not pull one,
And
nor have I ever physically seen one.
I'm not willing to pay the 10,000 just to have one.
I don't think it's that much, but it might as well be that much
Over
for how rare they are.
exaggerating. Yeah.
Yeah, but
But
the serialized Edgar Markov,
mhm, is
he looks so flashy.
Jack
I agree with
Hughes
you.
is an amazing artist.
Oh yeah, but I cannot see how good that art and that serialization is going to be worth the price that they're going to be asking for. And that's going to be a 4-digit card easy. Now I
Easy.
can see original Edgar Markov, like the one card that you get, the original art. No,
Mhm.
nothing special about it. I probably see that below $10.
The special
That's
art
what Edgar Markov sets.
20 to 30. But yes, the original will probably
That
drop to 10,
should. Like
hopefully.
vampires are cool and all, but not $80 a card cool.
Uh
Coming after Innistrad Remastered, the very next month, Aether Drift. Now,
Hot Wheels. Yay.
I'm not opposed to this. Uh, Aether Drift is going to be my Valentine this year.
Mhm.
So, coming out on February 14th, I'm looking forward to seeing things. We have 3 cards from this set that we have seen. So, we have a new Gear Hulk, Bright Glass Gear Hulk. This thing, when it enters, you may search your library for up to 2 artifact, creature, or enchantments with mana value 1 or less and put them into your hand. That's putting an Esper Sentinel in your hand. That's putting a Manadork in your hand, like a Delighted Halfling or an Arbor Elf.
Yep.
Can you think of other good 1-drop red spells? Ragavan?
Soul Ring.
Boom. Soul Ring. Mana Vault.
All of
I
them.
mean, for double green, double white, 4/4 first strike trample, not legendary, this thing is going to do a lot of work. Kind of like Ranger Captain of Eos. Maybe not as good as, but it's that tutor that you get
Mhm.
for 1-drops, not just creatures.
No,
Another print that we have from Aether Drift is Duretti, Rocketeer Engineer.
he's gotten so fat. Why is he so fat?
I don't know why he's fat, but he is a star 5, and
Yep.
his power is equal to your biggest artifact on the battlefield. So he can be cool, but it's the other effect that you get from him. Being a 5-drop, I think it might be a little overpriced for having a trash to treasure on a legendary creature, but then
Mhm.
again, you faithless looting you faithless looting discard Blightsteel, not Blightsteel. Let's go with Portal to Phyrexia because that doesn't get shuffled back in. And then the first time you get Duretti out, you just sacrifice, I don't know, an extra token of artifact token you created.
Exactly.
I can think of Plundering Barbarian enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. I'd sacrifice a treasure token for a Portal to Phyrexia any day.
Easy.
Yeah, and that's just what we've seen so far. The last card is an uncommon with Earth Rumbler. It's an artifact vehicle. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the vehicles that we get because we do have some cool ones with a lot of cool abilities, but none of
Not
them have
quite
been
enough.
okay. The my favorite one, Hedge Shredder, that just came out this past year. I didn't talk about it,
Mhm.
but whenever a land gets milled into your graveyard, you get to put it onto the battlefield tapped, just automatically. Do you know how awesome that is with Spelunking, Mossborn Hydra,
Mhm.
landfall anything? You just poop out a bunch of stuff, and it's probably my favorite vehicle. This one, it lets you do some stuff for a 5-drop for a 7/6 Vigilance Trample Crew 3. Exile an artifact or creature from your graveyard. It turns itself into a vehicle, a creature, so it can
Yep.
attack as a 7/6 Vigilance Trampler. That's awesome.
Nope.
Green artifact though, that might be a little bit difficult to use, but I'm pretty sure Aether Drift is going to be giving us a lot of things to help use green artifacts.
Yes. And hopefully so. With
Also,
hmm?
go ahead.
With this being literally a Hot Wheels set almost, we're going to see a lot of vehicles for sure. And it's going to be a very artifact heavy set.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, with that, though, it'll make at least a change to how an artifact deck would be made rather than just here's my Blightsteel, here's my indestructible all artifacts. Give me something like maybe even hug artifacts, stuff that powers up my vehicles as I have them out.
Or gives things to our opponents to help benefit them, like
Yes,
some sort of vehicle tokens that let them do things but not towards you.
exactly.
Ooh, goaded artifact vehicles? That might be pretty cool. Now, like, so this is the first time we're going to be getting a planeswalker that's not a person, the Aether
Yeah,
Spark. It's like an entity artifact planeswalker. So it's gonna have these cool effects to it, kind of like I'm trying to think of like the orb of Ozavox in Ready Player One.
yes. Legendary
So really
artifact
cool
planeswalker.
artifact that does way too much. We don't know any of its abilities, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of them. But coming out in February, we should probably start seeing the rest of at least Innistrad spoilers coming at least within the next week.
Mhm.
Because we usually get everything like a week or two beforehand. Coming January 24th, that's 3 weeks away. So 2 or 3 days, we should be seeing some more stuff. But with Aether Drift, we'll be able to see some more of that.
What I would absolutely love to see is with it being vehicle stuff, as you see from the promotion, it's all wrapped around vehicles. If you remember from the one unset where you could play two cards and they'd mash together to make like a cat octopus or something, where it
Yeah,
would finish the
an
ability.
Octocat.
Yeah. I want something kind of like that with vehicles where I can like give it a different engine so that when it attacks, it now instead of just drawing a card is whenever I attack,
Choosing
give
an
it
ability.
plus three or something.
So it has whenever this creature attacks, do ability. Kind of
Yeah.
like Silverback Elder, where you cast a creature spell and you could do one of three cool abilities. When
Yes,
this
but
creature is critical, ooh,
I want it to be
if
where it
yeah, go ahead.
attaches other cards to it though.
Like Soulbond.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
So
This
like
way I
okay,
can
so what
tech
if there
out
was
my
a
ride.
vehicle that has more than one crew ability? So crew one, crew two, crew five. Let's say those are the options. Crew one, you have a small effect. This creature gets +1/+1. Crew two,
Hmm.
this creature gets +2/+2 and trample into them. Crew five, this creature gets keyword +5/+5. The awesome thing blows up your opponent. Maybe that's a little bit exaggerative, but that could give the option to crew more and do extra abilities.
Yeah.
I like that. So after Aether Drift, we get to see probably something I've been looking forward to for a long time. Going back to Tarkir Dragonstorm. This
Yep.
thing is going to be so much fun to play in. I remember when Tarkir first came out, we got all of the clans, Teamer, we got all the names. We used to call it Rug, Bug, Kalia. What was
Hmm.
the other ones? Red, blue,
Uh,
green, black, blue, green, black,
it
red,
is.
white was Kalia.
Yep. Uh,
Red, white, and blue was America. We
yep.
just called it America.
Because
We didn't.
reasons.
There was no special thing. It wasn't Sultai or Jeskai or any of these other names. It was America.
America. Uh, a
What?
fun thing with Tarkir, if we are, since we are going back, is a lot of people are speculating, especially with the promotion art being Ugin himself. In the comics that they released for Magic, Ugin is no longer in his little realm, nor is his brother. Nicol Bolas
Nicol.
got out of the realm because Aminatou released him.
So you think in
Where
Dragonstorm we're gonna get an Ugin and a Nicobolus?
possibly it might be the confirmation that that story is now canon, in which case we now have a big bad again. It opens up a huge gateway of doors to new storylines for new cards and areas.
Oh. So with what Wizards has wanted, they said they didn't want to print as many Planeswalkers. So I
Hmm.
think we might get one in Dragonstorm and one in a further set when we go and see
But
other things in the future.
do remember a lot of things got desparked. Ugin, not Ugin, Nicol himself is desparked. So even if he's
So
released, where's he?
we
What's he
might
doing?
we might just get a creature version of him,
Yeah,
like
just
Nicobolus the Ravager.
yep. Or just like the original Nicobolus, where it's the you have to pay a red, black, and a blue
Six
each turn to
mana.
keep them.
Oh, I thought it was 6 mana. Maybe I'm thinking of one of the other ones.
Maybe. There were a few of them, to be fair.
Well, all of the original Legends dragons, the reason as to why they made Sheldon Menery made Elder Dragon Highlander, yeah,
Hmm.
that would be one of them. So after Dragonstorm, we're gonna go to our first Universes Beyond set,
Which is the thing I am
and that's
most
Final
excited
Fantasy.
for.
You're excited for Final Fantasy?
I have played Final Fantasy since I was a little kid, and honestly, I can't wait, and I hope they do good things.
I believe that they're going to. I didn't get into Final Fantasy as much. Now I know a lot of the Final Fantasy characters because of Kingdom Hearts. That
Yep.
was my jam. I absolutely loved them. I can tell you right now, Sephiroth I've beaten Kingdom Hearts 2. I did not beat in Kingdom Hearts 1. I never got to try as hard at him that as I wanted to, and I'm actually kind of regret that. But all of my knowledge of that is between that and then I think I've played a little bit of Final Fantasy X for the PS2, but I haven't really done much else besides that. I love the turn-based style of game. I just couldn't get into it.
Yep.
I was more of an active kid than an inactive kid. I just found Magic the Gathering and my love for Yu-Gi-Oh went away with the white bordered and the black bordered cards, and then I found Magic and I'm like, this is happening. Well,
Yeah.
you found Magic and then found me.
But yeah, no, I'm extremely excited for Final Fantasy. The arts that they've shown, they've promised the original artist for Final Fantasy to return and do some of them. Extremely excited. Really hope that those aren't those serialized cards. If they are, I will riot.
Uh, I can believe that. I can hear you in the future talking right now. It's like, yeah, I'm scorning them right now because of this. But
But
so
we'll see.
I think Cloud and Sephiroth are gonna have really good abilities, like absurd.
They probably will be the two like main commander decks they released with it.
I believe that. I'm really hoping to see what else they bring. I don't know too much about Final Fantasy, like the
Chocobo,
Chocobo. Yeah, the
chocobos,
Chocobos.
birds.
Are they gonna be vehicles
That would be make them vehicle creatures. Make them like the first vehicle creature itself,
and creatures? Like it's a creature that can't do something without it being vehicled.
but it's not an artifact.
That'd be actually really cool.
Hmm.
But besides that, then we go into Edge of Eternities. Isn't this where all of the Eldrazi are from?
We think so, and it's kind of weird because the only art we have for it is of uh oh, what is his name? Metal Master guy.
Emerald?
No,
Metal Master?
the guy that
What I'm thinking of is Doctor Doom right now, but I know that's not true.
there. No, the planeswalker that was
Karn?
working with Nico Bolas and then was working with the Praetors because he was poisoned by one of them.
Karn?
No, gonna I'm gonna get this guy's name real fast.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about. I'm not big on the lore as much as you are. But yeah, I heard that the Eldrazi are from here. Um, where are the slivers from?
Slivers are
Isn't that
from our old world.
where Time Spiral was?
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, Edge of Eternities is where the Eldrazi are from. Originally, not Nicobolus,
Tezzeret.
Emrakul, Tezzeret, Tezzy.
The the only art we have for this set is Tezzeret with super old Tezzeret though, with a full metal body and what looks to be a literal black hole in his hand as a planet explodes behind him.
That sounds really cool.
It looks
Exploding planet.
fantastic.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. That's going to come out in August, and so far between each of the sets, we have a month in between them. So Innistrad
Mhm.
Remastered Aether Drift is January to February, but one of them's standard, one of them's not. Then it goes from February to April between Aether Drift and Tarkir, which that's going to give us time to digest. That
Yep.
is really going to really revive a lot of gameplay to help people recognize a lot of the cards. Then it goes
And
from April to June, Tarkir to Final Fantasy. That's giving us another month in between to digest things, and I'm really liking that because we didn't get to digest a lot of things. I'm still finding things from the new Capenna Commander set that I never got to digest, and it's just gas.
It's also, I think, Wizards with this past year realized, even though they're trying to raise their stocks and all that, our wallets can't recover within 3 weeks. We need that month to
No.
be able to enjoy the set and then recover financially to be able to once again drop that couple $100 on a couple boxes.
Now, anytime that I've ever been pushed behind in life and I need to catch back up, it always takes me three major paychecks to catch back up to where I was a problem, and that's like 6 weeks if you're
Yeah.
doing a biweekly. If you go and get a regular job for a biweekly pay,
Yep.
that's it. That's 6 weeks, and there's sets coming out in less than a month from each other. And if you're highly interested in this game, you're dishing out more than you should be. But
No. This month
in
break.
between Final Fantasy
Yep.
And with Final Fantasy: The Edge of Eternity, that's June to August. We get to take a breather all through July again. That month break is really going to do well for us,
And
all as Magic players.
if you haven't noticed, a lot of the sets, excluding Innistrad Remastered for reasons, it's usually at the very start of the month, the 14th, the 4th, and the 13th.
11th and the 1st. Edge
Yeah.
of Eternities is August 1st.
Yeah. So it's all at the start of that month. So it's all going to be right there. And then you almost get a 2 month gap.
Almost.
Yeah.
Month and a half plus, which is, in that category of being able to catch up.
Yeah.
But we don't for the next set that we're about to talk about. I'm excited for this because I've always liked them, especially younger as a kid.
Hmm.
Spider-Man. We don't have an actual date for this, but in the future, are we going to see like Tobey Maguire versions of Spider-Man in the game, along with Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland, like a different version of Spider-Man between the common, uncommon, and mythic, or
Yeah.
even pre-con Spider-Man?
What I would absolutely giggle at is if they do this little meme of all the Spider-Mans pointing at each other as a card.
I will be very upset with Wizards if they don't, because that was a prolific time. I mean, hold on. With this thought, we should also get a Miles Morales version of Spider-Man,
Of course,
and I'll look
especially
like
now that he's
Spider
more
Pig.
prominent.
Oh, he's very prominent.
Through the
I'm looking forward to.
Spider-Verse. Mm,
I'm looking forward to Doc Ock. I. What colors do you think Doc Ock would be?
he's
I'm
Esper.
thinking red, black.
No, green, white, blue.
Esper,
He's an intelligent man.
green,
He's
white, blue
hyper
is
intelligent.
man.
Sorry.
Green, white, blue is man. Esper is white, blue, black.
Yeah, no, he'd be green, white, blue because his whole purpose, even in the comics, was I want the power of the world in my hands to help make energy so we can stop killing the forest. He just goes about it the wrong way.
Yeah, that actually sounds quite right. Uh, After Spider-Man, we have an Untitled Universes Beyond set. And I had said earlier about something about Scooby-Doo, which would be an awesome thing. You know how
Mhm.
many different versions of like there'd be a five-color commander deck with Scooby and the gang, the whole group.
Yeah.
You could get the Mystery Machine as a vehicle. Do you know how cool that would be?
Oh, hell
Just
yeah.
driving the thing, eat, eat,
You
and
could even do it with the old, well, the new Scooby Doo that's out, where it's like the post apocalyptic ones.
Sophia, Dog and Detective.
Yeah.
That's basically Scooby-Doo. It's what he looks like. The Clue Commander,
Yes. You also have another thing coming out next year that we've gotten confirmed.
and
Uh,
that is
SpongeBob, The Secret
the
Lair.
secret layer.
Yeah.
That was the last thing written on my notes right here. It says secret layer SpongeBob, and how you feel about that? Now, don't get me wrong. I love SpongeBob. His square pants have helped me with a lot of things. I am just as ready as a human being as SpongeBob is. I was born ready, but
My my whole thing with that, I don't mind SpongeBob. I'm not like anyone else where it's like, oh, I hate SpongeBob, get rid of it. It's no, I just don't care for it. Whatever, do your thing. I don't feel like something that childish and colorful goes into Magic very well.
uh,
you
I
have
have an agree and a disagree with you. Keep going.
you have all of these Nickelodeons that you can do because they Hasbro has obviously branding with Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, etc. They could have done Danny Phantom. They could have done pretty much anything else. But I guess if you're trying to get a wider audience, SpongeBob kind of works.
It's more than kind of, but for my agree and disagree,
Yeah.
I agree with the like it's it may be a child's thing, but I'm 30 and I love SpongeBob. I will
Hmm.
sit down and watch SpongeBob, just let time pass, and I won't be upset by it. The part that I disagree is with all of the other universes beyond sets, there's magic in those universes. Lord of the Rings, there's magic. You can't tell me there's not elves, dwarves, thing. How many? We've had a bunch of those all across the board.
Gandalf.
Yeah, Gandalf, Saruman, Sa- Sauron, all
Sauron.
magical creatures.
Uh,
In Fallout, Universes Beyond. I mean, yeah, it
Artifacts.
didn't have too much of things. There's a lot of artifacts. There's a lot of building and creating and other weird creatures because of the radiation and the extra terrestrial, not maybe not extraterrestrial, but extra terrain creatures that seem like magical sets.
Yeah.
Now going to Marvel with Spider-Man and that, Marvel has magic in the universe. Doctor Strange and all of those other things, they have magic there. That is Doctor Who. He's got two hearts. He goes inside of a small box that's like 3 feet by 3 feet, and you walk in. There's a mansion on the inside of it. If you that's not if that's not magical in some way, I don't know what is. But SpongeBob, outside of imagination, what's magical about SpongeBob? Like
True.
actual magic. That is my
My
disagreement with SpongeBob. My
my t-
agreement with SpongeBob is SpongeBob. I want to put SquarePants. The SquarePants better be a card, and I want to equip it to creatures.
would you prefer it to be like the Marvel sets that just got released, the little secret layer Marvels, where it's like here's one new card and a bunch of alter arts of other cards with the little ribbon under it saying what the actual card is? Like we get a SpongeBob card and like his SquarePants is just Lightning Greaves or something. Or do you want
Well, Greaves and
all of
pants
it?
are two different things. I will be genuinely if they try to say pants are boots in some way.
Mm,
Wizard, you got to be on theme here. These are pants, not boots.
give
Other than
me
that,
give me his
I kind of
spatula as
like
one
that
of the
idea.
swords.
That's perfect. The spatula better become one of the sword of pro this and that.
Yeah.
You are correct there. Absolutely. But this I kind of like that idea. I dislike how they're going about it where we're only going to make X number if you don't get it in these times. Sucks. I was literally in that queue. I lost it. I did not get those cards. I then went to TCG Player to order an Iron Man and it never came in. I had to I had to go to a third option
Yeah.
to be able to acquire the Iron Man that I didn't even get until less than a week ago.
Yeah.
I don't, no one should have to go that far for a card. Yeah, it's Marvel, it's new, there's not that many. There's plenty of them.
The
But
big
why do us players have to go so far just to acquire a card?
the big things that I have for it is the EDH secret layers. Sure. They're already cards that are printed. Go on ahead and make those limited release. Fine. Like you just said, the Iron Man. That there's only one Iron Man in this card game. There isn't a second of him. Don't make that limited. You know scalpers exist, and scalpers will just destroy that market.
And they did.
Yeah.
I That's how I feel about the secret layer. So like if when SpongeBob comes out, if we do get that him a brand new card, it'd be let's say SpongeBob, Plankton,
Hmm.
Mr. Not Mr. Krabs, uh, Squidward, Patrick. I want to say Sandy Cheeks. That Texas-sized squirrel would be so cool as a commander.
Yeah, give us that. I'm okay with
Probably
that.
takes extra damage from blue creatures.
But I'm okay with that where it's like there's one card in it that's a new card, and the rest are like just cool alter arts for that card.
Yeah, like all of the stuff from the Marvel set. Like
Hmm.
you said, I kind of hope that it's not as limited. That's my big upset with the Secret Layer.
Yeah,
But
it them
I'm
making
pretty sure
limited is
that's just
bad.
something we're gonna have to deal with.
Hmm.
Well, Cody, that's 2024 and 2025 for what we've seen and what we're hoping to see.
Yeah,
Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
nothing I can think of. Just can't wait to see what goes on through the future.
All right. Well, I look forward to playing games with you. I look playing games with the community. If you guys have anything you'd like to add, please send us some comments, like and subscribe if you like for what's going on. We will be sending these out every week. We hope to see you next week.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed the show, and if you'd like to play a game of Commander with me on Spell Table, just hit me up. I'd absolutely love that. We will be back next week at noon on Wednesday for our weekly episodes. It'll be found here on YouTube. Now, I know there was a bunch of things from 2024 that we missed. Delney, Streetwise Operative, giving Little Dudes double triggers, Doomsday Excruciator, making sure everyone has only a few cards in their library, all of the Overlords that just completely dominated Standard and some Commander games even. Now, I know that there were some things that I missed, but what were some of the things that you were looking forward to from this year that absolutely blew you out? This is Jacob, your PowerJank player, signing off.